Good evening, San Bernardino. So excited to be with you guys tonight. We're going to do some agenda review. So I'm going to let the stream start picking up so everybody knows that we are live, and I will check my Facebook. We've got a couple things to cover tonight, so I want to make sure that we're as thorough as possible. There are like two meetings. Well, it's going to be weird. One was tonight at 6. I didn't make it because I had to teach tonight. And then there are two meetings tomorrow, one of which is canceled. I know this sounds weird, but I want to make sure that we go over the agenda and kind of talk about what's going on. And then we will cover the city council meeting. Okay, I see you guys. Hello. Hi, Paula. Hi, Scott. Thank you for jumping on. And then everybody else. I'm going to make sure I sip my water and my Diet Coke so that I have a lot to speak about. But I'm really excited about making sure that we keep up with these. I know I'm trying to stay in a line. Last night was the Super Bowl, so I seriously doubt anybody wanted to watch me at 9 o'clock at night talking about upcoming agendas. So I apologize for not jumping in last night, but I think tonight's going to be great. So I want to start, and let me share my screen. All of this information you can find directly from the city's website. It is in their agenda portal, and I didn't create any of these documents. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. So hi, Ron. Let me find what we're looking for. So here we go. Okay. So first and foremost, there's me. Let's jump right in here. Today at 6, there was a public hearing, and we did not attend that, just so you know. It was at 6 p.m. and let's look. Let me get back on this. Okay, I think you guys, there's a little delay. Sorry, we're going through some spectrum issues. Okay, so the Public Safety and Commission met tonight. They approved their minutes from January 9th, and they had no presentations, no business, no staff report. They did have a discussion regarding the request that reports given to the commission be done in writing and bulletized for board members to use as talking points while sharing information with the public. So I am going to assume that they want everything in writing from now on. Now, this is just my speculation. I was not there, but given the fact that some information came out last time from the Public Safety Commission regarding grinding, I think that we need to have everything in writing. In their future agenda items, they want to create a mechanism to track future agenda items. So I don't know what that all entails, but Commissioner Tombach is requesting that. So that's what they did today at 6 p.m. And for those who are wondering who's on the commission, Ward 1, Jose Guzman, Ward 2, Sean Kelly, Ward 3, John Walters, Ward 4, Ricardo Tombach, Ward 5, Anthony Robertson, Ward 6, Savannah Taylor, Ward 7, Deanna Cervantes. The mayor's appointee is Jesse Carrillo and Terry Elliott. So that's what happened today at the Public Safety and Human Relations Commission. Hi, David. Hi, Nancy. Okay, here we go. another agenda that happened today. So at 3 p.m., oh, I'm sorry, not today, tomorrow at 3 p.m., the Library Board of Trustees will meet. And for those that want to attend, they will meet at Feldham Library, where the council meetings are held, at the Kellogg Room on 6th Street. So you can, I've been to one or two of those. It's a pretty fun time. The president is Carolyn Tillman. The vice president is Valerie Leachman, board member Thomas Renard, board member Jennifer Grant. They have a vacant board member. Okay. And then staff liaison is Ed Aravac. I think I'm saying that right. I hope so. Super great guy. Really, really into the whole library thing. So you can give a public comment if you choose. You can show up. I've done that when we were talking about their budget. So always awesome to speak on any issues. They've had a personnel issue for their closed session tomorrow. I don't know what that's about. Remember, when we talk about closed session, it always doesn't have to be noted to the public. So something's going on. If you do want to speak on it, you're more than welcome to. There will be no separate discussions on the consent calendar. They're going to approve their minutes. So their last meeting, just so you guys are seeing this, was November 8th of 2022. They have a library director's report. So that's Ed. He's going to give the month in review oral report, a library statistics report. And so we can see that in the backup material, and a review of the budget, which is, I think, greatly important. And that's in the backup material. We can scroll down on that. There's only 40 pages. Hi, Keith. Nice to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. So there's going to be a staff report, a temporary suspension from the library, temporary suspension of 6 months from all city libraries for unknown patrons for several violations of patron rules. Okay. And then a temporary suspension. So these are, oh, we're going to get into this. I want to see what that is. And then library meeting room policy and Bing Wong Auditorium. The recommendation that the library meeting room be revised to limit usage of Bing Wong Auditorium to city usage only. Oh, and other minor revisions. Okay. So where we meet for our council meetings is the Bing Wong Auditorium, and they want to limit that only to city usage. I don't know if I agree with that, you guys. So let's dive a little deeper. These are the minutes from last time. Nothing that I'm super trying to look at. They approved some other suspensions. These are all minutes. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, so the snapshot right now, you guys can see this. Right now, Feldham, Ingram, Rowe, and Villaseñor are all operating at 40 hours weekly. The Feldham has the Bing Wong room and the Kellogg room. They're maxed out at 266 and 50. Villaseñor has a community room that can occupy 78. There are a lot of card holders. Oh my goodness. Feldham Library has 19,472 people that have library cards. I am one of them, by the way. And it looks like they're doing well. I'm really excited about that. I won't get too specific. Let's look at their budget. I think this is big, right? I know this hasn't been announced, but we're kind of supposed to be in the mid-year budget cycle. What's not right? I'm not sure. Paula, what's not right? Where is this information coming from? I don't know which part. Their attendance or their library card numbers. So let's see. They're budgeted at roughly, we're going to come down. I don't see too much bad in their budget. If you guys want to look deeper, you can. Okay, so the library's budget is roughly 1.2 million on average. They're not highly funded. And if we remember when we were talking about them cutting 7% out of their budget, it was quite the big deal. It's such a small run division of our city. And so we have to make sure that, I think personally, that people have access to public libraries. It's one of like the last free things you can do in the world. So this is, I don't believe in ever cutting library budgets. I really don't. In fact, what's interesting is our former mayor, John Valdivia, really cared less about making sure that the libraries were fully funded, that people had access to information. So seeing that they're going through with keeping their numbers up to date is really important. Okay, so we were going to get into the little bit of the tea on this. So here we go. So what they are doing is they are identifying people who are causing problems at the library. And here is a picture of this person. They want to do a 6-month suspension for him. We can talk about in the backup agenda, they give every reason, okay, in different instances, what this person has done and caused. So we don't need to go, if you want to read that, you can, but disturbing the quiet, interfering with the library employee's performance, obstructing, intimidating, stalking, abusing, damaging, moving, and stealing materials. Okay, right off the bat, we don't need to, you gotta go. That's not what we're not gonna do at the library. They have another one, another suspension recommendation. And they give really good, I think, from what I'm just reading quickly and going through here, backup material as to why they feel like they need to identify these people and get rid of them. I didn't actually know the library did this. So they provide their rules of conduct, and if you don't follow, you don't get to go to the library. So, okay, I'm in agreement with everything. Okay, this is the one we're gonna question here. So they want to present to the board that the Bing Wong Auditorium is limited to just city usage and minor revisions. The city moved its mayor and city council meeting to the Bing Wong Auditorium in 2019. There is equipment on the auditorium used to televise and stream the meetings. The library has recently had more requests for meetings post-pandemic. We used to rent the auditorium to the public before the mayor and council came here in 2019. After checking with other city department directors involved in meeting production, they would prefer that we limit usage to the city events, only given the equipment stored in the auditorium and the importance of the broadcasting. So I'm just, and just seeing this, I'm going to give my opinion. I don't know. Like, first of all, if limiting the rental of this one room is going to limit any type of funding coming into the library, I'm not going to support that. Is the city going to then supplement their budget? Are they going to provide them what could have been the money that's coming in? So it says this meeting space fees, Bill Wong Auditorium was $100 basic fee for 4 hours or any part thereof, and then $25 per hour. So that was to me, this is a very affordable community space that we're giving up to a council to use it 2 times per month in the evenings. I don't support this at all. So I don't know. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Is it public funds? Is what public funds? People can rent this with their own private money. Anybody could come in and put in a reservation for this. And they're saying that people would like to come in and use this. Why would we only give it to city usage? I mean, tie up your equipment, figure it out. You guys have been, the city has been in the library for multiple years by now. So I think I'm going to try to make it to this meeting and speak on this. I don't agree. I just don't. I think this is ridiculous. And this is why it's important to look at these agendas. Who knew that something going on in the library tomorrow at 3:00 would at all be important to speak on? Well, here you go. If it matters to you, please speak on this. If it doesn't, we're good. Okay, on to the next. Planning Commission meeting. As you guys all know, Councilman Teddy Sanchez wanted the Planning Commission to revise and re-look at the grinding in our city. Well, here's a fun fact. The meeting was canceled. So I have received emails that the agenda wasn't posted in time. That's why this meeting is not taking place. And here's what bothers me. So the library meeting, the Public Safety Commission meeting, the council agenda meeting, they were all posted within adequate time to make sure that they're available for this coming up week. The city clerk said in an email that she had to check with community development why this agenda wasn't posted in time. Now, it is my understanding, I may be wrong, not always, but I may be, that it is the city clerk's job, literally the job, to make sure that agendas are posted in adequate time for their meetings. So is it that commissions are separate from her responsibility for the mayor and common council? I don't know, but here's what I don't believe. I do not believe that they missed posting on this by accident. I do not believe that this was just a technical error, as Director Freeman states. What I absolutely believe, as always, is that somebody did this on purpose. This was the night of which the Planning Commission was supposed to put all of the reasons why they unanimously do not support grinding on paper to provide to the council for the next meeting. So take it for what you will. You can always have your opinion, but this to me was done purposeful. This is why I believe that we need to take a deeper dive into the Public Works Director, Daniel Hernandez, and the Community Development Director, Nathan Freeman, because really, we've never had this issue before, and now all of a sudden, because grinding is again on the table to turn over, there, I'm not going to get too into it, but this meeting was canceled for tomorrow at 6 p.m. So let's dive into our Wednesday night meeting with our city council members and our mayor. There is no closed session, so don't show up at 5:30 because they are not talking about anything. We will start at 7. They will say the Pledge of Allegiance, which is awesome because right after that, we're going into public comments. The city manager will provide for his update, and then the mayor and council will give their reports on conferences. Now, I'm going to say something. I just want to note something because we've had some discussions. The public comment portion, as we know, has been cut. Depending on the meeting, not every meeting. Sometimes you can give 3 minutes, but that's at the discretion of the mayor. Here's going to be my recommendation. If at any time the mayor is going to cut the public comments of the public, then the mayor and council should not be able to speak any longer than what they provide the public. Do not come to me with your 15-minute diatribe about things that you are not accomplishing in this community if you don't want to hear from the public. Because honestly, what are you here for? Why are people elected if you don't want to hear from the people who elected you? And I think that's a fair question. You don't want to be here all night. What is it there? Where do you want to be? Elected officials really need to think about it. If you don't want to sit and listen to 4 hours of public comments, where else would you choose to be? And wherever that place is, please go. But don't waste our time telling us how important it is in a city that barely shows up to vote, that those who do take the time to show up are not worthy of your time. Because I'm going to give you a comparison. I appreciate how much the new mayor loves to tout her 65% win. Well, what is that? What really is that 65%? Less than 17,000 people elected Mayor Tran out of 101,000 registered voters. 65% compared to Mr. Penman's 10,000. So she was only 6,000 people above him. Now, when less than 27,000, less than 27% of voters show up, Out of 101,000 registered voters, that's not really 65% of people. That is a very slim minority. And so if you can't be bothered to hear 52 people, we have a problem, because why discourage the small minority who are engaged? That's all I'm going to say about that. It really bothers me. So that's going to be my motion on the floor tomorrow, is if you limit me, please limit yourself, because I don't want to hear you if you don't want to hear me. I think that's fair. So, and they're going to give a presentation. Let's see who's going to be. 7th Ward Citizens of the Month, Norma Baltich, Robert Porter. Congratulations, Robert Porter. Julie Quizada. Okay. Oh, and my buddy, John Schellenberger. Oh my God, I love him. He is amazing. He does so much. So congratulations to you all. I think that's great. The 4th Ward is going to appoint a new Public Safety and Human Relations Commissioner. Very exciting. For the consent calendar, which are all items that are supposed to be non-controversial and lead up to any type of discussion. Let's see, we've got an amendment to the professional services agreement with environmental cleanup services for abatement and nuisance properties on East Inez Street and Southeast Streets in Ward 1 and 3. Okay. A legislative affairs update. They're gonna, I guess you can read through that and see what the federal legislative advocacy efforts. Sounds good. They're going to approve payroll so everybody can get paid. Approval of amended form of funding for acquisitions agreements pertaining to community facility districts. I think that's super important. Look, I mean, we got to make sure that we're not always putting out the funding for all of these additions, and that's going to be in Ward 5. An amendment to increase purchase orders within, amendment to increase purchase order with Adamson Police Products. So let's see what that is. It's recommended that the mayor and city council of San Bernardino, California, authorize the city manager to increase the existing purchase order with Adamson Police Products to an amount not to exceed $110,000 for the fiscal year, and to allow for the purchase of ballistic vests, safety equipment, and supplies. Okay, so let's take a real quick look, because we just agreed on vests and everything. So let's look at page 203 and see what is different. I thought we did this with safety goggles, with everything. So back on January 20th, 2021, the mayor and council adopted a resolution which authorized the director of finance to issue a purchase order in the amount of $75,000 with 3 single-year renewal options. Okay, so here we are. We're in 2023. Prior to issuing the purchase order, the city published a request for quote. Okay, and Adamson Police Products provided the lowest overall bid. I love that. So their bid was $1,060 per vest, but based on the volume of this order, the vendor was able to lower to $897 per vest. Who doesn't love a cost savings? The previous authorized purchase order amount was $75,000, accounted for an estimated balance of $25,000 to remain spendable with Adamson. Okay, so they underspent. They had some money left over. So what do they want to do? They probably want to buy more stuff. The previous authorization allowed for more money. This purchase order increase request would allow for the purchase of 87 more vests and still leave a balance on the purchase order for essential equipment purchases from Addison as they become necessary during the remainder of the fiscal year. Staff is recommending that the Adamson Police Product purchase order for the current fiscal year be increased to $110,000. This purchase order increase will not cause an increase to the police department's budget. Hey, if you can do more with less, I am 100% behind you. Now, this for me is a great purchase, considering all of the money that PD was bleeding years prior with zero accountability, like millions of dollars worth of car technology for COVID that didn't even exist. I get behind you on some vests, but that's just me. Okay, so I'm down for number 7. Number 8, task order issued for TransTech engineers for augmented engineering services pursuant to professional service agreement for on-call engineering. Ooh, I don't think this is something I would put in the consent calendar. Let's look at it. Let's go to page 208. And I'm going to tell you why. We have so many issues and questions about RFPs, about people who are on call and just able to make money. I don't know if I'm good with this. So it's recommended that the mayor and city council of San Bernardino approve a task order TransTech 001 to TransTech engineers to provide augmented capital improvement programmatic services pursuant to the approved professional service agreement for on-call engineering. So in 2022, November, the council approved the standard professional service agreement with 24 engineering firms to provide the following services. So 24 firms will do street construction projects with that require DOT, stormwater, wastewater, constructional design, environmental consulting, geotechnical engineering, all that stuff. Okay. The selection of firms was based on each consultant meeting the pre-qualified requirements, licensing, and certifications without being debarred, suspended, or ineligible from bidding for accepting work from the state of California or federal contracts. Okay, great. Why are you all trying to add, oh, I don't like this. I'm sorry. The city of San Bernardino has approximately $100 million in capital improvements programmed over the next 5 years. Now, you're saying that's a lot. Remember, we have been in deferred maintenance for a decade since the bankruptcy. So I'm good with that number. The CIP includes rehabilitation of arterial highways, collectors and residential streets, intersection widening improvements, miscellaneous concrete replacements, and American with Disabilities Acts improvements, probably sidewalks. Installation of BMPs and NPDES improvements, installation of traffic signals, construction of park improvements, installation of landscaping and irrigation improvements, bridge maintenance and repairs, and rehabilitation of city-owned facilities. I'm not seeing any problem here. With a high volume of CIP projects, the need to develop an efficient and robust CIP is critical to the delivery and success of programming. Nobody's arguing with them. Many cities within the San Bernardino County use a combination of in-house staff and consultants for program delivery. They do, I agree. Due to recent changes to the engineering division and the challenges in staff recruitment, the Public Works Department seeks to model this approach to improve the city's current CIP program. Full stop. Okay, we're going to stop there. Please specify, city, what challenges in staff recruitment? Because y'all just literally fired the previous city engineer without any justification. You brought Susan Pam up here from the traffic division to be the city's new engineer without zero conversation. So are you recruiting? What are you doing? What is the current standing? Just based off of that, I don't buy it. While critical positions such as the principal engineer and the city engineer are filled, staff seeks to issue a task order pursuant to the approved PSA to provide professional engineering and program management services related to implementing the city's CIP. So they're saying without this, we're going to have some problems. This will allow the department to continue strengthening the CIP program while recruiting and onboarding key staff members. So in January of this year, the staff requested proposals to provide CIP programmatic services. 2 responses to the RFP were received on January 25th. That's interesting. They went out for a whole 15 days. TK Engineering out of Riverside and TransTech out of Chino. And TransTech Engineering has a local office in San Bernardino. Who runs TransTech Engineering? We're going to have to look that up. So only 2 firms applied, and now they want to add them. I don't know. I feel like, and this is just for me, in looking at this, Maybe we need to do a better job of recruiting. Maybe we and ourselves in the city of San Bernardino need to do a far better job of figuring out what it is that we need to have in a one-stop center and what we need to have with city engineers. Just in looking at this, I don't like it. I'm going to Google. Let's see, the one that's in our city. Well, let's find out who owns these things. Well, let me see. Let me back up before I go too far. Who owns these companies? TransTech, Engineering, Benson Avenue, and Chino. You would think, right? Like these things should be like TransTech Engineering, San Bernardino. Okay, so they are on West McKay in San Bernardino. We're just making sure we're going to verify, right? Next to Captain Jack's. Okay, so they are located here. And let's see who they are. Let's see. They got a big contract. Project management looks good. It's a lot of work. I don't know. I'm not sold. I hope this becomes I hope someone pulls this, because I don't know. I think I want to know the long-term plan. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to know what the long-term plan for the engineering department is in our city. So that's all I can say about this is I'm not sold. I'm really not. I would really like to. I want to see in-house. This is, I guess, where I'm going to go out with my own private agenda on this. I don't like us giving our money to outside firms. And I know TransTech has a whole business in San Bernardino, but does it? Because I've seen a lot of pop-ups, and I'm not saying this is in this case, but if you can give people $100,000 plus to work outside of our city, can't you hire anybody inside? So okay, there I am with our consent calendar. We'll see what gets pulled out. Sorry guys, I don't want to get too caught up in my own thoughts. Okay, so here is the discussion. Ranked choice voting. Oh my goodness, this is a very interesting concept. And I want to go, for those of you that have been asking, what is ranked choice voting? So we are very used to the concept of, in essence, one person, one vote. And I had this described to me in a way that I kind of get. You get to look at what would you like first, second, or third. Okay, so this is the presentation they're giving. So do you like hamburgers, pizza, tacos, hot dogs? And everybody gets to rank 1 through 4. Now imagine we're voting, right? You get to vote. This is how you're going to vote. Now let's say the first choice was pizza, but third place, actually the third choice of hamburgers received the majority of votes. Hamburgers would win over the first choice of pizza. So what it does is it doesn't discount, and I guess I'm going to look at this as the way of voting, and I'm going to use my own personal, okay? Let me just use some personalness. One of the things I heard when I was running for mayor was, I would really like to vote for you, but my fear is you don't have enough money to make it through the primary. Because right, I wasn't just going to get bought off like everybody else, but that's okay. So people were like, because you don't have a bunch of money behind you, I'm worried that if I don't give my vote to the person with a lot of money, if the person with even more money who's crooked makes it, you're not going to be able to fight them. Fair, right? Super fair. So that made me their third choice. What this is telling me is, and this is telling you, is pizza is the logical choice, right? Pizza is like, okay, that person has the most money. to beat the taco, who is just the incumbent with a bunch of, a big war chest behind them. But what I know is Hamburger, who is treasurer, is the right choice. And so what people will say is, my third choice, the best choice, is the Hamburger. I got to go with the logical choice, the pizza, and then everybody else is going to pick tacos because that's who they know. I hope that makes sense, because it really did to me. But this is the essence behind ranked choice voting, is that you don't just have to pick one. You get to say, I want this one, this one, this one, this one. And so, hey, why not? I mean, if people want to feel like they have a bigger voice, maybe we can adopt that. I'm going to tell you 100%, I would just like to see us get rid of the primary. I think it's asinine to vote in June, make people run off. Look, if this is a democracy, start campaigning in January. Everybody votes in November. Whoever you like, and whoever is there wins. That's it. That to me would get out of the way of ranked choice. That to me would just, and I agree, Debbie, yeah, too confusing for SB voters. Don't make us choose. Don't make people have to run for money. Let them run for the longevity of the campaign. There you go. That's my 2 cents. So that's what that is. Okay. Then we have, okay, so ranked choice voting was number 10. Public hearing. Okay, solid waste. If you guys are going to oppose the trash rate increase, it is Wednesday night. This is super important. You still have time if you didn't do it today, and if you're not coming to the meeting tomorrow by 5 p.m., please Wednesday by 3 p.m., please turn in your written request to oppose, okay? If you're coming to the meeting, you have until the public hearing closes for you to submit your opposition. Now, this public hearing, if you can speak freely on any other item, this one you will get an additional 3 minutes to speak on this. Now, here's the deal. This was a lot for me. So my councilman came to my neighborhood association meeting, and some concerns were brought up, rightfully so, about this trash rate increase, because we're talking quite a couple bucks, $100 some, depending on where you are, a year additional. Now, his comment to the group was, well, give me all of your concerns, and then next month I will come back to you and we can talk about them. And so I had to tell him, hey, councilman, you're voting on this on Wednesday. Frightening. Yes, I know. Horrifying. Absolutely. Unbelievable. Yes. So guys, ladies, gals, and everybody in between, I'm going to be honest. I don't have a lot of faith that, one, they even know what half the council knows what's going on. At least my council member didn't. And then a part of the conversation was proceeding to tell the group of people, and those of you that were there, please, if you want to chime in, please do, that we had to give them an extension on their contract, and we had to give them this increase because it was a state mandate. Now, I'm going to give my public comments, so I don't want to ruin the surprise for you, but let me give you a couple hints. First of all, there is no requirement to give Burtec any additional length in their contract. That is not a requirement at all. In fact, of the choices, they could have chose not to do that. So we are not mandated to extend Burtec's contract without a bid. I vehemently oppose that because we've been sued over that practice before. We are not required to give Burtec an increase in their fees. In fact, historically, Burtec has been able to up their fees on our community with no justification, with zero state mandate. They have just gotten more money. And here we are again. Now, my understanding, and I'm going to have the council answer this, that they plan on being able to recycle this waste and make money from it. So they're not only are they going to profit from us, because we don't have to put this in any additional bin. They don't have to do any additional pickup. We literally put it in the green recycle bin if you even choose to recycle your food, which you don't have to. And then they're going to do whatever they do with it. None of that, I think, should be passed on to us. Now, I understand compost. I understand the green initiative. I do. But what I don't understand is that a company profiting from something I've already purchased and been taxed on and now wants to make me pay. That I don't support. And then they don't have to bid. And I don't have to know if another company can be competitive in their pricing. Absolutely not. I'm not here for it. I'm not. And my understanding now, Scott, I'm seeing what you said. My understanding is that stuff's already separated. So I have a lot of problems. Now, one thing that my council member did say is that, you know, he was trying to get Burtech to give us extras and try to do different things. And it was a rough negotiation. I don't know about you, but here's what I know. If I'm guaranteed something for an additional 5 years, why would I ever negotiate with you? I don't have to. I'm not required to. You're not going to compete against me. Now, our council members, they receive political contributions. How much? I'll share at the meeting. I'm compiling all of that. But let's not pretend here. And it just bothers me so much that any council member will be like, we have to. Well, they're going to be community partners. They have not been community partners. They have not been required. They were taking our mayor to freaking professional ball games and dumping thousands of dollars. Like, let's not. Like, no. So anyways, like I said, that's going to be my thing tomorrow. For those who want to show up, please. I am in opposition. No one in this community is going to benefit that. And if you live in a mobile home park, you're going to be the most adversely affected, because that's normally seniors and lower income, and your rates are going to go up 2 times as much as a homeowner. So please be aware. Please be aware. Tell your friends. The last public hearing comment will be approving street vacation of a portion of Ian Drake and Central Avenue and Mill. Off of Fosse Street, reservation of utilities therein. I believe I saw this at on the Planning Commission, so they did their homework there. I feel like I missed something. Hang on. Hang on. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it's a recommendation. Okay, hang on. I saw something by Damon Alexander about a recommendation to. Okay, here it is. Okay, so items to be considering. Oh, we should have never gotten rid of handling trash internally. Scott, Mr. Rose, let me tell you that, and ladies and gentlemen of the city of San Bernardino, as someone who worked in City Hall and watched the outsourcing of our refuse department, that is the biggest scam I had ever seen in my entire life. Ever. The fact that the city put a representative that was a consultant for Burtech as the director of public works during the middle of the negotiation, who was working with John Valdivia, who was working against the city in the middle. Unbelievable. Watching Burtech come into the yards, and the employees were getting tacos, and Athens was like, are you serious? And then giving $5,000 donations to political officials in the midst of this. Oh my God. Like, I can't. This is what gets me. This is why I'm so adamant that we cannot not bid, because Athens said, hey, yo, like, you guys are so obvious in what you're doing. And they were like, yeah, whatever. Like, I just can't. So anyways, okay. Items to be considered for future meetings: presentation of Sustainable Renewable Energy Initiative, the AWE system. Mayor Tran is putting that up. To consider formalizing an annual partnership with San Bernardino Valley College CBO, who hosts the annual Juneteenth. Financial support upwards of $50,000. Councilman Reynoso. And then a state of emergency: duties, powers, and responsibilities of the mayor's office and Councilman Alexander. That one I'm not 100% sure about, only given the fact that they just discussed that in the last meeting. So 3 things to be considered. We will see where they go, and then we will adjourn. So I hope that all makes sense. I'm trying to make this as lively as we can and give you my opinions on where I'm at. But this information is very vital, and what we do with it and where we go with it is just as important. So I want you guys to feel empowered by knowledge. I mean, this is really where we come down to whatever it is we're trying to do. And for me, I think there's some good things. I think there's things we can talk about. I think there's things we can discuss. And I hope there is too. If you guys ever have any questions, I know afterwards, please comment. Some of you, I don't know how we do it, but I can't comment after the live, but you're always free to message me and share this, please. I'm going to record this and put it onto YouTube. I'm going to record it and put it onto Instagram, and then share the link onto Nextdoor. But if you will share this for me, I think that would be great. If you like it, if you don't, that's cool too. But I think, we can only move up from here. A position of waking up is being conscious and being aware. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have the best day ever. Don't forget, library board meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. And then planning commission is canceled. And then Wednesday, we have our meeting at 7 p.m., no closed session. So thank you, Paula and Scott. And I want to make sure I didn't miss any other comments. I think we're all good. Dave and Debbie and everybody else. So you guys have yourself a great evening and stay safe, San Bernardino. Bye.